Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This is a timely conference, and I want to thank Stefan and his team for putting this together. It's good to see the Green Party, the Green people, and then us, the entrenched section of society, the farmers, stand up here in front of you. We are far from entrenched, and I am certainly far from entrenched. I am the Deputy President of IFA, and I am standing for President of IFA, so let's get that out of the way. And last night, I got to bed last night at 4 o'clock, having travelled around the Ring of Kerry for the day, and I didn't see much of the tourist attractions, but I met a lot of farmers, and we had plenty of good debates, and I enjoyed it. This is a funny business. It's a funny industry. It's so complex and complicated. You know, you get the cheesemongers, and he's talking here about, traceability, getting it down to one level. We have the organic sector, we have the intensive agricultural sector, and we have all sections in between. And we have a food industry that's got to feed people and got to reach that challenge. 7 billion people in the world, they've got to be fed. We've got to find a way to do it. And we've got to do that in a sustainable way and protect the environment. I believe we in Ireland are in a great position to do that. Recently I was in Canada, and this morning I was here early this morning, which maybe is, I had to drop my daughter off at a human rights conference that's going on in Dublin Castle. She's my litmus test as regards, she's just finished her Masters in Human Rights, but she's my litmus test as regards political matters and what I would, when I wanted to try and find something out. I was in Canada, saw a sign which said, if you eat today, thank a farmer. And I said, great, I'll send this to Alice, see what her response is. This has to be good. I sent her the text. As quick as a flash, she came back with, I ate GMO today. I thanked the scientist. In between there is where we have to live, how we have to manage this. We can't just say GMOs is bad, science is bad, all these things are bad. Thomas Malthus said, that, the Earth's ability to feed itself will be seriously compromised over the next number of years. And it will implode. He said that in 1798. It didn't happen. We as farmers are constantly waiting, and we're told the 7 billion people are there. And in a number of years, those 7 billion people, or 9 billion as it's going to get to, is going to mean that food is scarce, and because land, because water, because the resources in society, in the world are shrinking, and they are shrinking, and we need to recognise that there should be a great future for farming. That was Thomas Malthus' philosophy in 1798. Today, we cannot, as farmers, live on the pretext that that's what's going to give us an income going forward. We have to look further than that, and we have to look to the future. But before we do that, we need to look, and I need to remind the political people and the members of the Oireachtas and anybody else that's out there listening that we have a budget coming up, and it is crucially important that the decisions that are made there and how they will affect agriculture going forward. We are at a crossroads where an opportune time in which agriculture can grow, and the recognition of agriculture has only come back to us. And I forgot my paperwork, I'm just driving on, so and excuse me for that. We have come to a crossroads at which agriculture has taken its place in this society. It's always been there, it's always been in its place, but it wasn't recognised. The Celtic Tiger took off. It drove in a certain direction. Everybody talks now about if we get the building industry going, we'll get a pyramid effect, and that ripple effect will bring the economy back up. Correct, right, decent philosophy, and it probably will do that. But remember, if you feed agriculture, and what I'm talking about here is feeding this industry, and yes, we've got subsidies coming in, they feed that industry. Next week we're going to get the first tranche of the single farm payment paid out. This week we've got the disadvantaged area payments paid out. This allows farmers to pay their bills. They pay the vet, they pay the contractor, they pay the people along the way. That gets blood in the veins of the industry, and the wheel starts to turn. And that wheel is not like a pyramid, it's like a cyclone. It goes the opposite way up. Each of those sections, each of the people that depend on it, the 300,000 jobs that depend on agriculture, they grow, and that system grows as coming out of that, and that drives an economy, and that economy is sustainable because it's driven by a proper route, which is agriculture. We have 9 billion worth of exports. We will continue to grow. We've set targets on the Food Harvest 2020 at where we can get to. We can do that sustainably. We need to remember that we feed, we produce enough beef every single year to feed 30 million Europeans. That's a huge amount of people that's fed. That's a lot of people that depend on the traceability and the quality of Irish beef and the product that me and people like me, who are damn proud to be farmers, We're damn proud of the industry we have. We're damn proud of the job we have done in this country over the last number of years, through the help of the European Union, through the help of Pillar 2 supports, which a decision will be made in the next couple of weeks to make sure that we get another set of Pillar 2 supports that can keep the second level that we do. Yes, we produce food, but we also are custodians of the countryside. I own my farm. It's 140 acres in the World Heritage Site at Newgrange, right? Just down the road. I own it, yes. My family have owned it for a number of generations. I'm actually keeping it in trust for my 19-year-old son who's now at Ag College to come back home to look after it. It's where I live, but it's also where I generate my income from. And I am a suckler. I'm just giving you the suckler tillage farmer, which is normal. But I'm also a very, very intensive poultry farmer. Very intensive poultry farmer. And I'm damn proud of it. And we use no antibiotics in that in our section of that industry. None. Okay? The myths that are out there on some of the industries and the way that the industries have grown are false and need to be corrected. We need to stand up as people. And we were talking earlier, Trevor, we're talking about the Greens and farmers. Why shouldn't a farmer vote for the Green Party? He should go for the Green Party or vote for the Green Party if the Green Party listens to the fact and recognises the fact that Irish agriculture is the model which we should encourage in the rest of the world. Don't damage Irish agriculture. Don't damage the traceability standards we have here. We have them. We have the safety standards. We have all the things that are associated with that. We protect the environment. Encourage others to do what we do and we'll protect the environment. Stop the tearing down of rainforests in other parts of the world. Stop the importation of food products that don't reach the standards that we have reached. We should be applauding Irish farmers. Yes, keep them under control. Yes, keep inspections going. But if we put inspections out there, and we talk about, and Trevor, you're quite right, a man, took his life. In County Meath alone, we've had 6 farm-related people who've took their lives since Christmas, between the 50 and 56 years of age. The stress levels associated with modern society need to be curtailed. We need to look at what pressures we are putting on people. These payments from Europe are a lever which is now being used to put pressure on farmers. Their income is under too much pressure. If we lose those payments, our income is gone. That's it. And a guy can walk in the door, into the yard, my place of work where I live, and take my income away for 1 year. We need to find a system by which those inspections help us to get to a standard. Help us to reach those standards. Don't penalise us. Let us grow. Let us get there. And we should be welcoming those inspection processes, not being worried or stressed or worried about them. The challenge is, man's challenge is to feed himself. That's the very first one he'll do. And we've come a long, long way. As society becomes affluent, we want to go down the route of quality, quantity. How are we doing on time? For 3 minutes. Okay. I want to get to the end of it anyway. Quantity, variety, and safety. We've reached all those targets. We're not perfect, but with the help of everybody in society and working together, we can get there. Is food safe? Absolutely. Is Irish food safe? Absolutely. The traceability, we stand the test of time. Our authorities found the horse meat in the burgers. They were the ones that found it. BSE was a great calamity, but it was also a great testament to the fact that the standards that we impose on agriculture, that we impose on the industry, found it, dealt with it, and moved on. That's success. The failure was what happened in the part of it. We found it and eliminated it. That's what we do. That's why we should applaud the industry that we have. Climate change legislation is coming down the line. There are a number of areas within that which we need to be very careful about. We need to realise that as a society, agriculture, or as a section, agriculture is. I lost my notes now. The level of production or the value of agriculture to this country is so high, and our ability to reduce emissions is now coming to its limit. In the last 10 years, we've reduced our emissions by 10%. We now, by the Chagas reports and McKinsey reports, they say that we can reduce them by no more than 3 to 4% going forward. We can do that, but we can also expand this industry. 9 billion worth of exports today. That will rise to 12 billion over the next number of years. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to say that as a producer, as a farmer, I'm proud of the industry that I represent. I think we can play a major part in the future of this economy in this country. I think agriculture, food can be produced safely. It can be produced safely with modern technology and all the things that go along with that. We need to embrace that, and we need to be proud of that as Irish people looking forward. I just want to draw one example of how a process can go wrong, and then how if you look at the burn. The burn, a number of years ago, there was a policy put in there to take the animals off it. A few years later, it went wild. Then we put the animals back on. We we created a system, the Burn Life Plan there. That was driven by farmers. That was driven by the people who understood the area, who understood how to manage the area. The knowledge that had been built over generations was put in there. What I'm saying to you here now is, and that is now being heralded all over the world, all over Europe, and getting awards. And our departments are saying, the people who took the animals away in the first place are taking laudits and prizes for actually doing what was done there. The reality here is that for the first time they trusted the farmers. I'm asking you to do the same. Thank you.